Welcome back to Machine Squad, the channel where steel giants clash, secrets of firepower are revealed, and military legends are brought back to life. Imagine this, it's the 1980s. The world is balanced on a razor's edge. One mistake, and World War III erupts in the heart of Europe. But this isn't a war of infantry, it's a war of tanks. And three monsters are ready to tear across the battlefield. The American M1 Abrams, the high-tech brawler born from decades of engineering. The German Leopard 2, the disciplined predator with precision in every bolt. The Soviet T-80, the raw, rugged force designed to crush NATO in a single armored storm. Three tank titans, three superpowers, one battlefield. Let's set the stage. The Cold War wasn't just about nuclear arsenals or espionage, it was about who could dominate the land if the Cold War ever went hot. And if it did, it wouldn't be fighter jets or warships making the first push, it would be main battle tanks storming across the plains of Central Europe. NATO knew it, the Warsaw Pact knew it. And so, from opposite sides of the Iron Curtain, they built three of the most powerful tanks ever fielded. The United States rolled out the M1 Abrams in 1980. Germany, then West Germany, unleashed the Leopard 2, and the Soviet Union deployed the upgraded T-80, a tank that was fast, deadly, and brutally efficient. Each tank was built with one goal in mind: dominate the battlefield in under 72 hours. But who really had the edge? Let's break it down. Speed isn't just about getting somewhere fast. On the battlefield, it means dodging artillery, flanking enemies, and surviving another day. The M1 Abrams, with its turbine engine, the same kind you'd find in a jet, the M1 was a beast. Weighing over 60 tons, it could still hit 42 miles per hour, 67 kilometers per hour on roads, and around 30 miles per hour cross-country. But that power came at a cost: insane fuel consumption. The Leopard 2. This tank was built with Germany's autobahns in mind. Its diesel engine was more fuel efficient, and it hit speeds of 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour. It was a masterclass in maneuverability, especially in the urban or forested zones of Europe. The Soviet T-80. Here's the surprise: the T-80 was the fastest of the bunch. Thanks to its gas turbine engine, it could hit up to 70 kilometers per hour, 43 miles per hour. It was designed to swarm fast, brutal, relentless. So, in a straight dash, the Soviet T-80 wins. But if you're thinking long-term endurance, the Leopard might be your best bet. Let's talk firepower. It's not just about who pulls the trigger, it's about who lands the kill. M1 Abrams, the early M1s, carried the 105mm M68 gun. But soon, the Abrams received a major upgrade. The 120mm M56 smoothbore derived from the German Rheinmetall gun. That gave it massive range, high accuracy, and a punch that could pierce almost any armor of the day. Leopard 2. The Leopard came locked and loaded with the original 120mm Rheinmetall, the same one the US would later adapt. German optics and fire control were world-class, making this tank a deadly sniper even at full speed. T-80, the Soviet contender, used a 125mm to A46M smoothbore gun, slightly larger in caliber. It featured an autoloader, meaning no human had to reload the shells, increasing speed, but also risking mechanical failure. Bonus: it could also fire ATG-MIS anti-tank guided missiles straight from its barrel. That's next-gen thinking for the 1980s, so who wins? The Leopard and Abrams had precision, but the T-80. It was playing a different game entirely. What good is firepower if your tank turns into scrap metal from a single hit? M1 Abrams. The Abrams was the first tank to use Chobham armor, a classified British innovation using layers of ceramics and composites. It gave the Abrams legendary protection against both kinetic and shaped charges. Leopard 2 also featured advanced composite armor, though details remain highly classified. German tanks have always balanced firepower with survivability. While not as thick as the Abrams, its modular layout made battlefield upgrades easier. T-80 Soviets relied on reactive armor era, explosive tiles that detonated on impact to deflect incoming rounds. Combined with composite armor, the T-80 was no pushover. But against the newer APFSDS armor-piercing rounds of NATO tanks, its survivability was questionable. In a head-on collision, the Abrams likely survives. In a flanking maneuver, the Leopard thrives. But in a swarm tactic, the T-80 still holds its own. M1 Abrams, American tanks prioritized crew safety and ergonomics. Digital fire control, thermal sights, advanced radios all meant better coordination, target acquisition, and survival. Leopard 2. If Abrams was a tank, Leopard 2 was a luxury sports car. Climate-controlled, intuitive systems, exceptional optics. Its fire control was arguably the best in NATO. T-80 Soviet doctrine focused on mass production, not comfort. Cramped interiors, poor visibility, and older electronics. But it didn't matter, quantity over quality was the Soviet mantra. The Abrams and Leopard 2 were built to survive. The T-80 was built to win, fast or not at all. M1 Abrams saw action in Desert Storm, where it decimated Iraqi T-72s with minimal losses. Its combat record, near spotless. It set a new benchmark for modern tanks. Leopard 2 rarely saw major combat in the Cold War, but in recent decades, variants have been deployed in peacekeeping missions and combat zones like Syria, where they were both feared and tested. T-80 limited combat before the Soviet collapse. In the Chechen Wars, poor crew training led to catastrophic losses. In Ukraine, however, modernized T-80s continue to serve with surprising resilience. In real war, it's not just about the machine, it's about the soldier inside it. If tanks had truly rolled across the Fulda Gap in the 1980s, who would have emerged victorious? Would it be the Abrams, tearing through Soviet armor with precision strikes? The Leopard 2, outmaneuvering foes with clinical efficiency? Or the T-80, backed by thousands of Soviet divisions, overwhelming NATO through sheer numbers? In truth, there is no single winner. Each tank reflects the nation that built it. The M1 Abrams, a high-tech war machine powered by logistics and innovation. The Leopard 2, a masterpiece of engineering and battlefield awareness. The T-80, a hammer in the Soviet fist meant to strike hard and fast. 3 tanks, 3 nations, 1 Cold War legend. If you had to go to war in 1985, which tank would you want under your command? Comment below, debate, defend your pick. And don't forget to subscribe for more epic breakdowns only on Machine Squad.